Hello everyone, Sławek from Carbon Fox. Today I want to show you how we can change this bike for this bike. In this movie we show you what is necessary, what is possible, what we can do, which tool we need for the change the bike in this transformation. Let's go!
Remove the fuel cap. Ensure to press it down while removing. Pull the pin and remove the seat. After removing the seat, the first step is to disconnect the power supply from the battery. Proceed to disassemble the headlight and electrical wiring inside the headlight housing. First, unscrew two bolts on both sides. After this, the headlight and housing can be pulled forward. Disconnect the headlight. Remove all cables teeth to free the wiring harness.
Okay.
The next step is to disconnect the electrical plugs. Among the harness, there is a sensor attached with the rubber strap. Carefully remove and set it aside. The wiring plugs are designed to prevent incorrect connection. Each pair of plugs is unique, so improper connection is impossible. The only exception is the turn signals, which require attention to the color coding: red for the left indicator and green for the right. The harness contains 4 connections for the additional devices. 2 are active with the ignition on, 1 is always powered and can be used for the device like a permanent alarm. Device such as navigation or roadbook should be connected to ignition-powered connectors. Another plug allows for the connecting is a USB charger. Proceed to remove the turn signals. Be cautious not to lose the washers while removing them. Avoid bending it, as it might break. To prevent losing the washers and nuts, it's best to place them back on the wire. Now unscrew the bolts holding the front fender to make more space for the next steps. We recommended to use torque wrench instead of the hexagonal ones, as they better suited for the tight spaces and reduce the risk of damaging bolt heads. Next, Next, unscrew two bolts at the bottom of the fender. A good practice is to screw bolts back into the original places after removal, saving the time of during reassembly. As the brake and electric are wires pass through an opening in the front fairing. There are two ways to manage this. Either detach the ABS sensor cable, brake lines and later blade the brake system, or simply cut the plastic fairing. The part is inexpensive and we win a lot of time. Accessing two screws of the speedometer is challenging. So first, remove the housing by unscrewing the bolts at the back. One, loosen free the cables and disconnect connectors under the black panel. To access these, remove the side panels. After unscrewing the bolts securing the panel, push its rear part upward, then slide it forward. Repeat the same on the other side, up and forward. Unscrew the interior of the panel. Be careful unscrewing the bolts securing the airbox. After losing the panel, reinsert the bolt to avoid losing it. Leave the panel in this position. To remove it, take out of the airbox. Remove the cable, tie under the ignition cover. Disconnect three plugs. Roll the wires around the shock absorber and remove the highlights cover. Pull all the connectors through the housing, starting with the smaller ones, ending with the larger connector. Organize the cables in the area you intended to cut to avoid accidental damage. With increasing workspace, proceed to cut the housing here. Remove the last cable tie, securing the main harness carefully. You can now gently pull out the main harness, ensuring nothing is damaged. Extract cables one by one without haste. Start with small connectors, then proceed to larger ones. Push the connector in the opening instead of the pulling them out. Once all trapped cables are accessed, cut the housing in this spot. For example, sheet metal shears are used for this task. The cables are now free. Proceed to unscrew the speedometer and ABS switch. Unscrew two speedometer bolts gently to avoid stripping the threads. Remove the speedometer with the circular motion. Carefully pass the connector through this delicate. Screw the bolts back into the speedometer, ensuring proper alignment and no excess force. To remove the ABS button, simply pry it out without the tools. Next, remove the USB port. Then remove the indicator lights. Begin deassembling the airbox. First, remove all side panels. Unscrew the voltage regulator. You may disconnect it. It is not needed now. Continue removing the side panels. After removing the bracket, unscrew the rear airbox bolt. Repeat the process on the other side. Remove the battery bracket, secured by 2 bolts. Leave the bolts in the bracket to avoid confusion. Loosen the negative battery terminal. Remove the battery, creating additional space for the airbox replacement task. When removing the airbox, note that 2 clamps secure the flexible tube. Only loosen the front clamp on intake manifold. Leave the clamps on the airbox untouched. You can now unscrew the bolts that was previously reinserted. To remove the airbox, unscrew 4 bolts. To make access easier, remove the top part of the airbox. The airbox temperature sensor is hard to access in this position, so remove it after lifting airbox. To simplify the process, remove the air filter to apply a firm grip on the airbox. Pull the airbox backward with the firm movements until it's loose. Disconnect the sensor at this point. Lift the airbox upward carefully and disconnect 2 hoses attached to its bottom. The first hose is on the motorcycle's left side and can be detached from the panel. With the second hose, it's better to disconnect it from the SAS valve. This is the hose at the top of the SAS valve. The upper hose is the one to disconnect. Before removing, take a photo of how the hose is routed to ensure proper reinstallation later. The airbox now is removed. Set it aside for the moment. We will return to these 2 hoses and the one at airbox intake later. During further tasks, seal the throttle body intake to prevent any contaminants from entering the engine. Use a plastic cover, rubber glove or clean cloth for this. Now remove the right panel. When the airbox is installed, this is more challenging and the panel may be damaged. Proceed to prepare the motorcycle for the removal of the 4 mounting points on the frame. Additionally, on the left side, we will remove the mounting tab to install the fuel tanks.
When we remove these brackets on the frame, we don't touching any proprietary frame. Frame is the same, have the same stiffness because all these brackets have a functionality for the assembling the seats, blocked the bracket for the seats, nothing else. The same story with this small plate on the left side of the frame. This functionality is only for the assembling the tool box inside the side panel. Nevertheless, I inform everyone we don't touching any things who is responsible for the safety. Makita, simply the best! Okay, Don't forget about the protection of your eyes when you're cutting the brackets on the frame. And of course, please remember covering the parts around the space where we're cutting the brackets, because the foil elastic material is not friendly. Best is a natural skin or flex material who will be very heavy for the firing. Please be careful, because this is sometimes maybe make the problems with the fire. Okay, what we made, we cut it.
Cut carefully, leaving a margin. Cut at the same height to avoid the damaging of the frame. It's better to leave some material for the sanding than to compromise the frame structure. Be cautious to prevent the protective materials around the frame from the getting caught in the grinder as you can. To smooth the leftover mounting points, you can use a grinder. Work slowly and carefully to avoid damaging surrounding frame parts. Alternatively, a belt sander can be used as shower.
Odkurzam wszystko.
Next, clean and degrease the frame. Prepare the motorcycle from painting by masking it with the foil. The shown method is simple and effective. Cut the foil only in the areas you will be painting. Place cardboard spacers to separate the foil from the painted surface. Lightly sand the surface around the painting area to increase the adhesion. Decrease the surface using the alcohol or extraction gasoline. Apply approximately 4 layers of the paint, allowing 10 to 15 minutes between the layers for curing. Once finished, remove the protective foil.
After frame makeup, we start assembling the bike, and first we will start on the rear side to connect the wiring for the fuel pump.
First, unscrew the bolts and the rear of the tail. Then unscrew 4 bolts from the bottom. Remember, there is one less visible bolt to remove also.
Yes.
Disconnect the turn signals. To remove the tail, open the fuel filter cap and lift the sections upward. Next, unscrew the rear right panel. While removing it, pull gently downward. Do the same on the other side. Unscrew the exhaust mounting. Loosen the fuel tank's bolts, but do not remove them entirely. Lift the tank upward. To keep the tank upright, we use a transport strap. The pump connector is located here. This is where the wiring will connect. Take the full pump harness, which is the longest one. Unplug the connector. Route the new harness through the specified location. Plug the original harness into the new connector and connect the new harness to the pump. Essentially, you have created a bypass routing power to the pump through the new harness. Secure these cables with the zip tie as shown. Lower the tank. Check that nothing is colliding. Attach the tank on the right side. For now, you will need access to the left side later. Reattach the muffler to avoid issues with its alignment later. Certain tasks must be completed before installing the exhaust system from the kit. Now proceed to replace the exhaust pipe. Loosen the clamp. Disconnect the Lambda sensor. Its connector is located here. To disconnect it, use the screwdriver to lift the latch and pull the connector out as shown. Cut the zip tie, allowing sensor wire to be removed. There is another zip tie near the frame. Ensure the harness is loose in this area. Returning to exhaust system, first unscrew the clamp before the silencer. Next, remove two bolts on the exhaust manifold. The first is accessible with an open-ended wrench. The second bolt is harder to reach. Loosen it after removing the canister. Once the bolts are removed, take out the exhaust pipe. Unscrew the engine guard. Disconnect the canister hose carefully to avoid the match. Remove the radiator brackets. Relocate the horn cable to opposite side, first cutting the zip tie. Roll the cable so it ends up in this location. Loosen the engine bracket bolts slightly without completely removing them, unscrewing 6 bolts in total on both sides. Now remove the bolt running through the engine. Start from the left side of the motorcycle while counter holding on the right side. Be sure to not remove the engine mounting bolt too early. Replace the original bracket with the one provided in the kit. Secure the provided bracket. If the lower bolt is inserted through the engine, tighten the 2 upper bolts gently without the over-tightening. Move to the other side and repeat the previous steps. It's important to fully insert the lower bolt before installing the nut. Hold the bolt to prevent it from moving backward and tighten it securely. Gradually tighten all bolts one by one and only fully tighten them once any play is removed. When installing polyurethane bushing, it's recommended to use lubricant for easier installation. Install 4 bushing in total. Next, mount the front skid plate bracket. Place the washers under the screw. Insert the screw into the holes. Then secure them to plates with the rivet nuts. Slightly tighten the front full-time brackets. When installing exhaust pipe, pay attention to one detail. Fully tighten the nut on the bolt within bushing, while the other nut is used to adjust the connection tension. Insert the exhaust pipes from below. First, closely attach the bolts at engine, ensuring they are not fully tightened but just initially put in. Remove the clamp from the stock exhaust. Attach it to the new exhaust. Now proceed to modify ignition lock. Unscrew the expansion tank. Remove the ignition lock from the below. It will be relocated further back on the motorcycle. In the new version, you don't need to change the pin inside the ignition lock. Disassemble the ignition lock. Try the plate at one of the indicated locations. To disassemble the lock, turn K to the specified position. Once disassembled, remove the pin, being careful not to lose the gasket. The new pin is longer than original. Reassemble the ignition lock in the reverse order of the assembly. Before reassembling, position the key as shown. Attach the lower part of the ignition lock and tighten the screw. The ignition lock is ready, and now you will need this bracket and the pin holder. These three parts are assembled at once. Before assembly, reroute the wiring harness. This will provide additional length, making it easier to install the wiring in the tower. Route it under the top frame tube as shown in the video. After relocation, the harness will be a few centimeters longer, making the installation in tower easier. Position the expansion tank as low as possible. Remove these two rubber mounts. For better access, first attach the lowering bracket for the expansion tank. Before attaching the tank, trim the mounting ear slightly. Install the gasket and the front of the pin holders. Pass the pin holder through, pull the ignition lock upward, and then attach the gasket. Push everything forward the frame, but leave him unfastened for now. You will need to adjust the ignition lock to install the upper fuel tank mount. Take the upper bracket slightly back, the ignition lock, and assemble it as shown. At this stage, ensure at last one screw secures the ignition lock. Attach the second screw. Take the lower fuel tank mounting clamp and insert 4 screws, ensuring they align with the threads. U-bolts provided the kit have a different lengths. The longer one is for the lower bolt, while the shorter one is for the upper bolt. Insert the U-bolts from the front and rotate them 180 degrees. With the lower U-bolt place, attach the navigation tower bracket. Remove the VIN sticker. Lightly tighten the nuts on the lower U-bolt. Begin installing the upper U-bolt. Position it against the frame and rotate it 180 degrees. At this point, do not fully tighten the navigation tower bracket. Later adjustment will align the tower with the vehicle axis. Once the side panel and the tower are installed, alignment will be more precise. Tighten the bracket enough to prevent the vertical movement while allowing lateral rotation. The lower U-bolt should be perpendicular to frame. Ensure no vertical movement while maintaining side-to-side mobility. Now reroute the clutch cable and screw the cable. Pull the cable backward and route it through the designed spot, keeping it oriented upward. Blade the clutch, remove the cover and gently press the lever until all air escapes. Reattach the cover. To simplify the process, route a cables inside before securing the tower. Use a zip tie to temporarily attach the tower to the cable, freeing your hands to route the wires. Follow the same principle as before. Start with larger connectors and finish with the smaller ones. Once some wires are routed, place the tower on the bracket and loosely thread the screw. Route the handlebars cables through the top opening of the tower. Secure the cables with the zip ties for the easier grouping and routing. The cables should enter the tower in alignment with the motorcycle axis to prevent tension. Pass these cables above the coolant reservoir. Secure them in this location. Pass the handlebar wiring through two grommets, keeping the left and right sides separate. Additionally, pass the wiring from the switch provided in the kit alongside the right side wires. Connect the wires inside the tower. On the left side, route the full pump switch wiring. Then connect the speedometer extender. Ensure the sensor is installed with the tube facing downward. Assemble the control panel. The indicators have a tab ensuring correct alignment. With the indicators installed, there is space for a switch. Install the grommets with the handlebar cables. By switching the toggle, we activate either the front or rear fuel pump. Next, take the indicator panel and connect ABS switch to responsive plug. Attach the plate with the wires. Fit the switch from underneath and fasten into the instrument panel. Place the indicator lights in their designation slot. Secure the assembled indicator panel. Installing the fuel tank requires trimming the radiator cover. Unscrew the two bolts securing it. We will trim it along the line indicated by the tool. Now unpack the fuel tank, mounting the components. Rear brackets and bushing for the side tanks mounts. Previously, we removed the airbox plastic support. Here is how to trim them fit the new tanks. This section must be remained to support seat, while this part is removed to make room for the tank. The tanks will provide additional seat support. These are trimmed components. This one is for the right side and this one is for the left. Insert the shoulder bolt here and using the supplied tank bracket secure it to frame. The rear bolt will be difficult to access due to the tank. What we will do is loosen the tank mount and slide it back. Now we have access for the bolt sides. Position the plastic bracket using this bolt. This is original bolt. Use a self-locking nut. Tighten the 3 bolts holding the brackets. Do not fully tighten this bolt. It allows for airbox bracket position adjustments. The right bracket has an out space to cover the welded nut. Below is the grounding bolt. After unscrewing it, reattach it in reverse, securing it with the nut from the inside. Remove the grounding bolts. This is a critical point in the motorcycle. Ensure proper contact between the grounding wire and the frame. Poor contact or contamination can lead to electric malfunctions. On the other side, at the same time, mount the plastic airbox bracket using the original bolts. Do not tighten the bolts fully yet, so adjustment can still be made. Ensure the grounding nut is properly secured. First tighten the bolt, then the nut. Next attach a long SAS hoses. Both hoses are routed under the airbox, exiting on the left and extending to the front of the motorcycle. Bundle them together and throw them to avoid interference with the airbox. Now for the airbox. Remove the upper bolts from the brackets, loosening the lower ones to allow the bracket movement. Disassemble old airbox, removing these 3 pipes with the clamps, the sensor and the 4 rubber grommets. Remove the clamps. Take the pipe out of the airbox interior, following the two thinner pipes. Avoid pulling them outwards, instead push the flange inside. Extract the pipe from inside the airbox. Remove the grommets. Disconnect the sensor. This wire needs rerouting because are configuring the Euro 5 compliant version. For Riley version, the airbox lacks this hole. The customer's choice is determines the configuration. Route two wires from below. They will remain loose for now, and O-ring will later be applied here. Their positioning on the motorcycle will be as follows. One goes forward and other goes back. Insert flexible pipe. Ensure the notch aligns correctly. Once the pipes is fitted, secure it with the clamp. Tighten the clamp firmly to prevent it from moving during assembly. Important, the clamp must be positioned this way. If reversed, it will interfere with the frame. Attach the sensor using M5 screw. Install for rubber grommets. Once the piles are correctly positioned, apply the O-rings. Ensure the second clamp is also correctly positioned. Before inserting airbox, roll the full pipes wiring harness. Direct the pump connector downward and the rest of the harness upward. Guide the harness between the frame and engine. Properly arrange the wiring around the airbox, securing it with the zip ties to prevent movement during installation. Attach the expansion tank. Roll the handlebars wiring through the left side, directing under the frame. Connect the connectors and secure the frame with the zip ties. Now it's time to connect the airbox pipes. Pass the left pipe under the frame as it was the previously routed. Pull the right pipe down and connect it to the valve. Install the airbox by sliding it onto the throttle body, pushing it at angle of approximately 45 degrees. There is a clamp here that needs to be tightened. Secure the sensor wire with the zip tie in its original position. Unpack the air filter mounting kit. Insert the filter bias into the filter gently to avoid tearing it. Press the filter into the base sleeves and fit it onto the airbox. Now proceed to install the light bracket. Put the harness into the navigation tower support. After putting the screws in place, pull the light wires through and connect them. Install the speedometer. To align them correctly, first turn the screw counterclockwise for 2 rotations, then tighten. Connect the speedometer set aside carrier for a moment and check the indicator panel screw are secured. Mount the carrier. Fasten the 4M6 12 countershrink screw. Adjust the carrier tilt to your preference. Unpack the cable guide bracket for the shock absorber. First attach the strap with the half of the bracket. Then slide on the other part, feed the cables through and tighten the strap. The radiator cover has been trimmed. Align the bottom with two mounting points. Accessing radiator cover screw with the front well locket is tricky. It's best to position the tool as shown. Remove the radiator support grommet. Install the new longer bracket. Attach the vibration isolator to bracket, then the radiator using self-locking nut. Remove the clips from the internal side panel and attach them to the carbon side panel bracket. Fasten the bracket to radiator and frame. Once the radiator is mounted, the bracket loosened is upper the frame mounts. Why loosen them? This improves access to wires. Reposition the voltage regulator connector to the another side. Unscrew the grounding point. Then disconnect the ABS. Reposition the wires. After installation, the wires should be routed as shown. Route the horn connector to the left side. Next, secure the grounding cable. Prepare the surface where the grounding cable will be attached by sanding to ensure good contact. Screw in the vibration isolator, which will enhance the grounding cable. Clean everything and reassemble the grounding connection. Now, reinstall radiator. Attach the voltage regulator to the side panel bracket. Plug in the connector. Rotate the horn mounting plate 180 degrees. Mount it together with the lower radiator bracket. Fix the vibration isolator, then the lower radiator bracket, and finally the horn. There is notch here. A similar, slightly offset notch will be needed to fit the voltage regulator wire. Don't forget to connect the two. Trim the panel in half on the opposite side. Attach the panel to motorcycle. Now mount the indicator to the separator bracket. The indicator has a tab that must fit into the bracket slot. Secure the separator. Attach the whole cover to navigation tower, ensuring the indicator wires are routed outside. It is easier to connect indicators before the fastening the bracket. Trim the separator wire to the appropriate length. Secure the wire here with a zip tie, but leave some space. Now insert the Lambda probe into its position in the new exhaust pipe. First attach the probe, then route the harness. Route it behind the frame and connect it at the rear tank mode. Tie the wires securely. Add one zip tie and the top. Place another zip tie at the bottom. Secure the lower tank mounts. Insert the bushing into the mounts where the tank will rest. First, insert the bushing, then add the washer and a retaining ring. Special pillars can be used to assist. Repeat the bushing installation process on the rear tank mounts. If you didn't earlier, connect the breather tube now. Next, proceed with the installation on the fuel system provider kit. First, disconnect the injector connector. The harness should be mounted as shown. Fuel will flow from the front pump to the T-connector and the injector. One-way valves are installed to prevent backflow. Connect the fitting as indicated. Route the hose under the frame as shown. Now tighten the full hose clamp on the pump. Ensure the tightened part of the clamp faces upward. If the faces downward, it may interfere with the skid plate installation. Attach the pump cover and install into the tank. Remember to place O-ring on the pump. The tank holes are positioned so the pump can only be installed on one orientation. Mounting the tank, starting with the upper mount only. Route the fuel tank hose behind the tank bracket and do the same with the pump connector. First connect the pump's power supply. Route the fuel hose up along the side of the tank. This is the set of bushing used to secure the tank to the brackets. Tighten the upper mount screw until you feel resistance. For the side mounts, tighten the screws carefully, as there is risk of the over-tightening. To simplify alignment with the lower mount, loosen the bracket with the bushing. Carefully tighten the lower screw as well. Now connect the fuel system hoses. Secure a hose with zip ties so it's directed upward. Attach another zip tie along the frame further down. On the other side, slightly lower the sensor by changing the position of its clamp. When tightening, ensure it remains vertical. Obviously, I am very happy because we are slowly approaching the end. The motorcycle is starting to resemble the finished machine. Mounting the tank, starting with the top mount, then the rear, and finally this side. You can check the corrections of the tank installation by verifying if they are symmetrical relatively to each other and the frame. Tighten the screw. Now the fuel bypass, ensuring simultaneously fuel depletion from the both tank. The system can also be disconnected once they attach. The connector remains sealed, allowing the use of just the left tank. Tank connections include 2 copper washers per side. Additionally, an O-ring should be placed on the plate fastened to the tank. The parts are delivered pre-assembled with the O-rings in a zipped bag, but it's still important to check for their presence. The connector allows for the significant flexibility and in arrangement. When installing the hoses, ensure they are not too close to manifold pipe. Now attach the gasket and secure it to the tank. Tighten the screws. Repeat the process for the other side. This part, the tank, is protected by skid plate, so it's safe to route the hose in this area. Connect the hose on the front skid plate bracket, ensuring it maintains distance from the exhaust. After positioning hose correctly, tighten the central screw on the bypass. Use a zip tie to secure both hoses. After assembling the exhaust, ensure there is gap between it and the engine. You should be able to fit a finger in the space. Tighten the exhaust screw. A zip tie used to hold the clamps in position is removed. Remove the cover. A small section will be need trimming. Trim the specified piece. Repeat on the opposite side. Attach the rear tank covers. Ensure the bushing is correctly seated before the tightening. Install the second cover. Be mindful of the cable. Attach the clips to the exhaust. Place the exhaust cover over the clips. Tighten the covers. Next, tighten the screws securing the full tanks. Assemble the quick release kit. Place the washer on the pin, followed by spraying smaller diameter on the washer. Insert through the panel and add the retaining clip. Attach the clip to the side panel's mount. The panel slot must align with the screw head of the tank. Slide the panel forward in its position, then press the rear section to secure it. Lock the quick release clip. Processing is against the mount. Repeat for the second panel. Handpacked inlet and windshield mounting kit. Take the windshield and install the screw along with the washers. Repeat the remaining three screws. Mount the two rubber mounts onto the windshields. Assemble two additional quick release kits. Attach this windshield, sliding it upwards onto the pins. Finally, lock the windshield quick release clips. Afterward, attach the panels, then adjust the tower position. Connect the panels to the inlet. Begin adjustment. Gradually tighten the nuts on the both sides, ensuring the tower remains aligned with the motorcycle axis. Tighten the panels to the tanks. Install the fuel caps with vent hose. This completes main motorcycle assembly instructions.
Okay guys, we are almost finished assembling the bike, but before the finish of this we have two options around the steering damper, and the steering. One standard version for the extension of the position of the steering, and second one fully prepared by Carbon Fox, the triple clamp set, who is the prepare for the assembling the steering damper, PHDS systems, and what is important, give you the full radius for the riding, like original bike, because the clamps don't touching the tanks. We have not too much space in this area. We change the mounting point in the clamps, and we have a better propriety, better riding possibility around the supermarket.
Start decompressing the front suspension. You can do it without this step, but you may find reassembling part harder. During the assembly, an original handlebar screw will be reused. The upper screw go into the triple clamp, and the triple clamp screw are used for the PHDS. Remove the handlebars. You can place it on the tower temporarily. Unscrew the bolts from the triple clamp. When retaching the screw, tighten them to 70 Nm using a torque wrench. Gently tap the triple clamp upward to remove it. We offer triple clamp for various bikes. This one includes reducing slave. Future batches will be specifically designed for the individual bikes. Gently press the triple clamp back into place. If you're having trouble aligning the holes, move the motorcycle forward and backward to ease the process. Tighten the screw. Use a torque wrench to secure the triple clamp screw. Insert the pin. Slide the damper onto the pin and secure it. The PHDS can be adjusted to positions. The handlebar can be closer or farther away. Prepare the risers on the rubber components. Install the conical rubbers last. First, insert the threaded plate, then the lower handlebar clamp, locking the components in place. Insert the rubbers. Place the handlebars in position without worrying about this exact alignment. Attach the upper handlebars clamps and tighten the screw. Install the skid plate. Slide it into the place from the back and secure it with the two screws at the front. Reattach the front fender to its original position.
Thank you and see you for another video.